Yeah, let's talk about 5 years ago, preparing to found Champion for Kids. It was in 2002. What was it that made you recognize how important it was to set up an organization like this and then to annually put on these tremendous, this is the 4th annual Champ Bonecrusher Smith Golf Classic. What was it that back in '02 that got you going on that?
Well, you know, of all the things that I'm doing now and all the things I've done in my life, being a world boxing champion is going to rank up there. It's pretty high.
Right.
And I knew I was a champion, and I knew I had the college background and the first college background to become heavyweight champion of the world. And I just kind of mentally put all that together and say, well, you know, this is something that I can do. This is how I can build a legacy and be remembered. And this is how I can create a mentoring scholarship.
Right, right.
With my name on it. And I not only just do it here, I probably can do it wherever I want to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Set it up anywhere. Well, you know, you highlighted earlier this morning before we started filming the aspect about our lives are so short and why it's so critical to think about what we can leave behind, since someone said last week you've never seen a U-Haul behind a hearse. And it's important to think about it that way because you just can't take anything with you.
You know, the Bible says a good man, which means a woman too, leave an inheritance for his children and children's children. So this is something I set as a foundation so my kids, my daughters, can run it when I'm gone, and also, you know, they can have something that my daddy was the heavyweight champion of the world.
Right.
You know, and they can always cling on to that.
I'm sure they do anyway, absolutely. Even though that was 20 years ago,
yeah.
Do you keep up with some of those folks before you who were champions before you and afterwards? Do you all have a good rapport? Is there some rapport together with other heavyweight champions worldwide?
Absolutely. In a couple of days, I'm going out to Las Vegas. I fought in Vegas on 6 times, and I'm going out there. From time to time, I go out there. I have some agents. You know, I got over 3,000 travel agents in my organization.
No way. And the Bonecrusher travel?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I get paid when I sleep.
That's a tremendous thing to think about. Bonecrushertravel.com.
Yes.
Okay, great. So you're heading out to Vegas.
To see some more people. I do seminars and workshops, and I just let people know that this opportunity is alive and is well, and they can retire sooner, which I think is better than later.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We brought here, and of course it's sitting here on the set. I wish we'd had this all week, you know, to think of our guest earlier this week, to have not had the experience of sitting here with a belt like this. This thing is gorgeous.
The World Boxing Association belt is one that I won. It was the original belt. You know, since then it's the WBC and the IBF and different belts has come along. So I was lucky enough and just kind of positioned myself. I really don't believe in love. I believe in working hard. I can sleep all day now, but I don't want to. I'd be so excited.
Oh, yeah.
But I have to go out and tell the good news.
Right.
And I'd be excited about that. I was excited about being on air today. And I just want to share with everybody. And I just have a giving, sharing spirit. And I just want to build my extended family. And they can join me in the ministry and also in the travel business.
Absolutely. Very important to think about. You know, as you think back to age 10 when God gave you that call to start running, you said it was 18 years in the interim before
23 years.
Before you became a professional, before you did that.
I was 33 when I won the title.
Is that right?
Yes.
33 years. So
yes.
That 23 years of training for the
being faithful and committed.
Right.
You know, I don't know how many people will actually, not knowing why they're doing something,
right,
to actually commit to it for that long.
How'd you keep the faith? I mean, that's amazing. I can't even think about it.
Can you imagine keeping the faith for that long?
I cannot.
And then can you imagine the feeling of actually accomplishing that night when I actually, oh man, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
A lot of people ask me, how did that feel?
Yeah. We got about 5 minutes. Just give us a little insight into December 12th of '86. So we're talking more than 20 years ago.
Yes.
20 and a half years ago. Give viewers a sense of that. It's 7:25 now.
Well,
give them a sense of that.
I had fought Witherspoon before.
Right.
And this was the second time we were fighting. He had won the first fight on a 12-round decision. And I knew that this guy starts slow, but he gets stronger as the fight goes on. And I said, well, you know, I'm going to stop this guy before he gets to pick up steam.
Right.
So the very first punch I hit him with was around the ear, and I kind of knocked his equilibrium off. And then I guess you say the rest is kind of like history. And I just jumped right on him. And a matter of fact, I'll get you a DVD. It's a 10-minute. I call it Bonecrusher's Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
me and Tyson, me and Witherspoon, me and a lot of the guys on there, and it's just a lot of action.
That's tremendous, yeah. So even the fight back in March of '87 against Tyson, you said you went against him, went 12 rounds with him.
When he was 21 years old.
When he was 21, when he was an absolute machine.
He was a machine.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah. And so you were what age then?
I was
34, I guess.
Yeah,
33 or 34.
33 years old.
So he was almost. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, and to take him that round, and I got cut in the first round, so that I was losing blood and getting weaker as the fight going on, and I still was able to the will of actually doing that. And I hit him with a shot in the 12th round. He staggered. If I hit him just a bit over a little bit, he'd probably gone down.
Have you ever seen that where you've done the right hit and you know that's the one?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what is it in their eyes or just the way you feel the connection's made?
It's a solid connection of the punch.
Right. We got 5 minutes. We just think about, of course, preparation so oftentimes, running, exercising. For folks these days, do you encourage young ones to think about boxing as a career, or are there aspects of it these days that may be almost too scary to get into? I mean, you're blessed that you not only had an education beforehand, but that your mind's still strong enough to maintain that education afterwards. So oftentimes, I guess, the mental poundings mean that you really can't keep it all together.
I don't really encourage young folks to do boxing. It's just so tough and so hard, and getting hit upside the head. And a lot of the guys like Muhammad Ali and different guys, and Holyfield, you're gonna mess around and he stay around too long, and he's still fighting. And he has slurred speech now, and a lot of guys just don't know when to quit. And once you lose your mind, you've lost pretty much everything. So I don't really encourage guys to do that. It's just too tough.
Muhammad Ali, is that someone you got to know at an early age?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time with him. Whenever he came to North Carolina, we'd always get together, and he's been to a lot of my fights, and he's a pretty awesome guy. He inspired me to be a fighter, really.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And other inspirations, obviously, your parents, to a great degree, your God-fearing parents, who, as you shared, that aspect, spare the rod, spoil the child. Clearly, they didn't spare it. They did the right things at an early age. Who were some of the other inspirations for you? Clearly, Jesus Christ.
My grandmother and my uncle, businessman, and just kind of mentor my teachers. I listen to my teachers, and that's what I want to encourage kids to do now. Your strugglers and your teachers, listen to them, and your parents, because they want the very best for you.
Yeah. Your daughters are inspirations as well?
Absolutely.
I know you talked about that.
Two daughters at North Carolina Central, and I get together with them, and I said, I remember what it was like when I was in college. I said, I want you to call me at least once a week.
Good.
Yeah. I want you to say, Daddy, I miss you. Daddy, I love you. Daddy, can I have some money?
You know what that call's about. Yeah. You see the dollar sign popping up on your cell phone. That's right. Yeah. That's hilarious. It's so much activity. Break down the first 3 tournaments. We just got a couple of minutes as we think about, now we're going into the 4th tournament, Sunday, September 9th, Legends Golf Course up there on Highway 501. Give us a sense of what the first 3 were like and how you knew this was going to be something you'd keep doing year after year right here in Myrtle Beach.
Well, the first one was you kind of learn your way on the first 2 or 3.
Right.
And then we think this one's going to be a huge success and being the first time in Myrtle Beach. And then the name of the guys is coming. I mean, I never would have thought that I'd
Michael
have
Dean Perry and Al Woods,
and Lou Brock. These type guys. I never would have thought to have these kind of guys in my coffee.
No way, absolutely. So your first 3 tournaments were not here in Myrtle.
Yeah, they were in Fayetteville.
Is that right? Tremendous. Yeah. Probably a lot easier to get them down to Myrtle Beach. Nothing against Fayetteville. We've got deep ties in Cumberland County. I love that area. But the opportunity to get folks, of course, to Myrtle Beach.
The golf capital of the world.
It is. There is nothing like it. There is nothing like it. What's your handicap? Do you play that much?
I can shoot in the 80s. I play at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. There again, I'm always on vacation.
Yes, that's right. Bonecrusher travel. And that's a great opportunity Folks can learn a lot more about you at Bonecrusher Travel.
That's right. That's right.
Bonecrushertravel.com, or even more importantly, Champion for Kids.
That's exactly right.
.org. And you've got a federal tax ID here. All that information's there. There's a lot of tremendous sponsorship opportunities. Still maybe even a tournament sponsor.
Absolutely,
okay,
yes.
Good.
Absolutely, yes.
Folks can go there, and Tiffany Andrews, the local contact. You know, as you think, so many activities in your life. The most important aspect for you that you want to get across to our viewers today?
Well, having a personal relationship with God, because He will direct your path. You know, if you get into trouble or if you need help, if you just call on the Lord, you just lift Him up, because the Word says, if thou shalt be lifted up from this earth, I'll draw all men and women, you know, unto thee. And he's just kind of direct my path. I'm calling on Him, and I'm witnessing, and I'm reminding people that He is the way, the truth, and the light.
Those are great words. Thank you so much, Champ, for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with the Champ, the Reverend Bonecrusher Smith, coming up next. Take down the time to write this number, 236-8214. That's 236-8214. Tiffany Andrews, Tournament Director. The tournament's getting close. You got a little more than 5 weeks to get ready. We're talking Sunday, September 9th, the Legends Golf Course, Moreland, right out there at the Legends Complex. Tremendous opportunity. George Rogers, Lou Brock, of course the champ here, Bonecrusher Smith, a tremendous opportunity to be a part of this. But most important, take the time to write down championforkids.org, championforkids.org. There's a lot of tremendous information on there. It shares with you a little bit of the story of Bonecrusher Smith, and of course 2002, a big year when he came up with the idea to set this up. It's got their federal tax ID number on there, so you can write a check as a sponsor. One person, $250, a foursome, a great opportunity. Get out there Sunday, September 9th. You can also look at bonecrushertravel.com. Think about that call, Christ calling him at age 10 to get ready, start running. You heard him talk about Forrest Gump. He's been running ever since. He was running back there in December of '86 when he won the World Boxing Association, became their champion, world champion. Think about that, world champion. bonecrushertravel.com or championforkids.org. Take a look online.